To add an extra touch of authenticity, the creators of video game characters usually take inspiration from the real world. Sometimes they straight up model their heroes after famous people such as actors, singers, or models, but in other cases, they just add small details that aren't so obvious, so they aren't immediately identified by players. In today's video, we're going to reveal 10 video game characters that are secretly based on real people. Even though there are many Mario lookalikes that can make you think they were the real inspiration behind one of the most famous video game characters, the real story is different. When Nintendo was at a low point, the businessman who was renting one of his warehouses to the gaming company was thoughtful enough to grant them a deferral on their rent. His name was Mario Segali, and thanks to the goodness of his heart, he became the inspiration behind the name and persona of the iconic 8-bit plumber. BALROG is an African-American boxer featured in the Street Fighter series. He pretty much looks exactly like Mike Tyson, and in Japan he was known as M. Bison, so as you can see, the game creators really wanted to make this pun work when they first built the character. Fearing a legal liability, they rotated the names of 3 characters, so M. Bison ended up being called BALROG, but the inspiration behind his look is so transparent it's impossible to ignore. Johnny Cage is based on the Belgian martial artist and action movie star Jean-Claude Van Damme. The outfit he's wearing and the legendary splits punch are some of the most iconic elements that were borrowed from the real-life fighter, and even though the name he bears might be hinting towards another famous actor, namely Nicolas Cage, Mortal Kombat's sunglassed character is in fact a Van Damme doppelganger. Both Mad Dog and Scorpion from Contra look so much like the popular action movie heroes played by Schwarzenegger and Stallone back in the 80s that it's impossible not to see the striking resemblance. Besides these two characters, an array of other video game fighters and mercenaries were also heavily inspired by the fantastic duo that raised the standards for what a war hero should look and behave like. Being one of the most famous martial artists in the world, it's only normal that Bruce Lee would be the inspiration behind so many video game characters. Mortal Kombat's Liu Kang, Tekken's Martial Law, Street Fighter's Fei Long, and even Pokémon's Hitmonlee are all the perfect lookalikes of the master, starting from their fighting moves and ending with the high-pitched battle cries they use to intimidate their enemies. In an era when video games didn't offer much in terms of gender representation as they do nowadays, Nintendo took it upon themselves to create a powerful and independent female character, Samus Aran, from the Metroid series. Her dynamic behavior was based on Sigourney Weaver's role from Alien, and it was perfectly complemented by the appearance and even soundbites inspired by the 80s beauty, Kim Basinger. Wanting to step away from the damsel in distress stereotype, the creators behind Lara Croft based their character on NENEH, a Swedish rap star who was very popular in the 90s. Thanks to her spirited image and outspoken personality, NENEH was the ideal prototype to take into consideration when developing Lara Croft. This is how gaming's most iconic female character came into being, even though some may still think Angelina Jolie was the inspiration behind the legend due to her physical resemblance to the Tomb Raider heroine. But the character came first. Even though at first glance you can't really put your finger on it, the resemblance between the beloved scientist Morton Solus and Hollywood's most famous cowboy Clint Eastwood is kind of uncanny. Everything from the shape of their head to the detailed wrinkles, thin mouth, and frowning eyebrows are so similar you could swear that they're brothers from another mother and species. They couldn't have chosen a better model for Solus than the legendary Clint Eastwood, that's for sure. It seems hard to believe that the hero of a game set in mythological Greece could be inspired by a Nazi Edward Norton who's deeply racist and extremely aggressive. Well, as unbelievable as this may be, the truth is that Kratos' creator couldn't quite figure out how the character should look until he saw Norton's performance in American History X and fell in love with that sense of power and aggression that you see in his face. As simple as that, video gaming's most vindictive hero was born. This one is impossible to see even for us, but Sonic's creator Naoto Oshima has stated that the Blue Speedster was indeed modeled after Bill Clinton and Michael Jackson. They took the former president's get-it-done attitude and added a bit of the fashion sense owned by the king of pop, and thus Sonic became a determined hedgehog who wears a pair of belted boots, similar to the ones Jackson had in his Bad music video. Now this is the most interesting combination we've heard of, and it's definitely worth sharing with the world. This was our list, showcasing some familiar in-game characters based on real-life people, and we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists. If you'd like to contribute, please follow Frag Hero on Facebook. If you know any other famous people that have video game counterparts, please mention them in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a good time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new videos all the time. Subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest content. You can also check out fraghero.com for more gaming related articles. Until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.